foolproof pie dough that's buttery, flaky, and simply divine to work with. I'll show you how to blind bake and fully bake your pie crust. I'll put the measurement all down below so you guys can see. I need half a teaspoon of salt, and mix that in with your hands. And this butter has to be cold. We want it to be cold, so I just pulled it out of the fridge and cut it into little cubes like this. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to press the flour inside the butter like that. So do you see? This is how I want my flour and butter to be. See? It's like pea-sized butter pieces. Now that this is done, I'm gonna go in with my wet ingredients. I like using the distilled white vinegar. You only need half a teaspoon of it. You want your water to be super cold, so I put ice in my water, and I'm gonna start with 3 tablespoons. Kind of scatter it around, don't get the ice. We're starting with 3 tablespoons, and then if your dough feels dry, we'll add more. I'll show you guys. Grab a fork, don't go in with your hand, and then very carefully bring in the flour and the water together. Do you see the chunks of butter pieces? These are all the air pockets that are going to be created in my dough and make it extra flaky. So I'm going to go in with my hand, basically grab a big piece and squeeze it together, right? Then pull it apart. This is still flaky. It's not holding itself. So my flour is thirsty for a little bit more water. I'm gonna go in with half a tablespoon. Don't go in with too much. Just a half tablespoon. And that should do the trick. Pull it apart. Do you see the difference? Only half a tablespoon. It's holding itself together. It's nicely hydrated. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly bring the dough together by least amount of kneading. Nice technique is tearing your dough and folding it on top of each other like that, like so. You see, I tear it and put it together. That way you're not kneading your dough. You're just mixing everything together, making sure, there it is. Pick up every piece. And I want to show you, do you see all the little beautiful layers? Yeah, that's what you're looking for, these layers. See? Flour here. And then bring it back to the surface. Now very quickly, I'll knead it maybe a few times. Bring the dough together. There. And it is done. How easy it was, see? This is a great dough if you are making your pies for Thanksgiving. It's a fantastic dough. It keeps really well in the freezer. I usually do my pie doughs a week before Thanksgiving and then defrost them in the fridge overnight before sheeting them out. So I'm gonna cover this with a plastic. Nice, and I'm gonna let this rest in the fridge for about an hour before I sheet it out for my pie. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so I have my dough out of the fridge. It's nice and cold. Sprinkle some flour on the surface and grab your rolling pin, and you want to roll out, turn it around, out, and turn it around again. So you want to keep moving your dough so it doesn't get stuck to the surface. There you go. And make sure that it's nicely floured at the bottom. Put it together. There you go. So I kind of see the light a little bit behind it. Before I lay down the dough, I'm going to butter the edges really well. Okay, that looks good. Roll like that. Now to pick up your pie dough, fold it up and then fold it back up again. Find the center and place your dough right there and open it up. It's a cool little trick. Give it enough room. I'm gonna cut a little bit of a piece and form it into a bowl. Make sure you don't stretch your dough. Just place it gently. There you go. See? I'm picking it up. And now I want to trim the edges, leaving a little bit of a room. Just go around very quickly. Now this is going to go in the fridge. I want the butter to harden again for about half an hour or so. And I'm gonna heat up my oven at 375 and I'm gonna blind bake it and then bake it fully. It's nice and cold right out of the fridge. I've got my parchment paper. I'm gonna put these in here. I think I need 2 to cover all the edges. And I have some old beans that I use as weights. I'm gonna pour that in. And this is gonna go in the oven for 20 minutes. So this is par baked and I'm gonna take it off and bake it for another 15 minutes until it's nice and brown. So this is fully cooked. Look at that color. And look at that. I can actually pick it up and it's pretty hot. But this is a beautiful pastry dough.